Hi everybody, Matt here again with another mic shootout. It's got a very full vocal booth at the moment with 4 different stands, 4 different microphones for you. Basically we've got the Jade tube condenser here on my left, then we have a Rode NTG2, followed by an Pro Audio MC01, then the MXL 990. Some of you may have seen my other video with the NTG2 up against the MXL and an Audio-Technica mic. What I was really keen to do was actually get these other 2 mics in here because the Pro Audio I've had, this is probably one of the first mics I ever bought, and then I upgraded to the Jade tube, which I didn't use for years, and then just brought it back out of the box and started using it again. So I'm really keen to hear how these are all going to stack up against each other, basically because you've got different price points and because even one of them is actually a small diaphragm shotgun. So yeah, let's just hook into it. So this is the Jade tube condenser. This is a fantastic mic. I use this for a whole bunch of stuff. It's one of my favorites now. For some reason, as I said, I wasn't using it for a few years, but I dug it back out of the box and started using it again, and I love it. From memory, this mic was about $400. And it's got a switch on it with a pad, and it's also got a bass roll-off. They're both switched off. So what you're hearing now, this is just the mic in its natural state. And as I said, I'm a big fan. Nice clarity. It just tends to, it's got that tube warmth. It's just got everything that I like in a microphone, basically for voiceover work. So let's move on now. The next mic is the Pro Audio MC01. That's the one that I've got plugged in at the moment. I'll plug the others in a sec, but this is the Pro Audio MC01 that I'm talking into now. It cost me about $100 way back in the day. I don't even remember when I bought it. It's probably 15 years ago. And just a great mic, just never let me down. Nothing much to it. I think it's got a couple of switches, the same switches, the pad and the bass roll-off, but generally, like, they're both switched off, obviously, and but generally, yeah, just a great little mic. Good bang for buck, and yeah, $100, you're not really blowing the budget. So, yeah, big fan of this one too. It doesn't tend to get used as much, but it's good for the drum overheads and other studio work. And now I'm going to plug in the Rode. So give me one sec. Okay, so now I'm talking into the Rode NTG2. It's a great little shotgun mic. From memory, I think it was about $280. Takes an AA battery. You can take it out on the field if you need to. It's also great in the studio. I tend to find it not as live as some of the large diaphragm condensers, but it's still got a great sound and definitely gets use in the studio and outside of the studio. And now I'm just going to connect over to the MXL. Give me one second. Okay, so this is the MXL 990 that I'm speaking into right now. It's also around about $100, and I'm curious to hear how it sounds up against the Pro Audio MC01, basically because they are around that same sort of price point, similar offering. The Pro Audio obviously has a couple of switches, which makes it a bit more versatile. But generally for just typical voiceover work, you wouldn't really play around with the switches anyway. So with the switches off, I'm curious to hear how the 2 stack up against each other. And just the 4 mics in general. You can draw your own conclusions about which one you like. I'll be having a listen straight after this, and I'll draw my own conclusions and leave them in the comments. Leave me a comment, and if you want to chat audio, definitely leave me a comment below, and I'll see you around. See you next time.